Hello folks and welcome back to Gatecrasher. We are here with another unboxing. This time it is the two-player starter set for the 15mm historical war game by Fire and Sword 2. This is the second edition, as it indicates on the cover there. This is a game I was not familiar with prior to the second edition Kickstarter, which I feel was maybe a couple years ago. The first edition, I believe, came out about 10 years ago. And this is by a Polish company. And as such, focuses on historical wargaming in what you could call Central and Eastern Europe in the mid-17th century, in case the winged hussars on the cover here were not a tip-off of all of that. Now, sadly, the two-player starter set does not include any winged hussars, but hey, let's see what's in the box. So, it's a good-sized box, not too big, but weighty, substantial, and as we can see here, it comes with two forces. Now, the game, I've not really dived into the game at all. This just happened to really kind of hit one of my historical interests pretty squarely. I've been very interested in this period and region, both from a military history perspective and just general history for a long time. So I was really excited to see that there's a game out there that focuses on this period, and excited enough really that I went in on the Kickstarter, even though I haven't really collected 15mm figures for the better part of 20 years probably. I'm actually looking to change that, in part because of this game, but I just figured let's start with the box, with the starter set, and go from there. So my understanding is that you can play the game at different scales. So the starter set is geared towards the skirmish scale, essentially. And I like what they did, because basically what you get a Polish-Lithuanian army and an Ottoman-Turkish army. Both forces are exclusively made up of mounted troops, although with the Polish-Lithuanians you do get some dismounted dragoons as well. This is really cool because it obviously does represent the sort of skirmish action that would have occurred with the sort of scout or outrider units of an army bumping into each other. So, yeah, what does it say here? You get the two armies, you get a rule book, an introductory booklet. Excuse the paint on my finger, I was painting earlier today. You get a set of cardboard rangefinders and tokens. It's a D10 system, and you get some cards as well. One of the things that the creators of the game really emphasize is their commitment to historical accuracy in terms of units, in terms of how the rules work to simulate the era period. And yeah, so let's dive in and see what we've got. Okay, so we've got a nice little welcome booklet here, where to start. And yeah, it says before you start, you need to do two things: read the rules and assemble your army. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, they recommend that you read through the rule book, skip the special rules and terrain rules for your first game, master the basic mechanics. On the following pages, you will find the army list matching the contents of this set, and the first scenario that you will be able to play. More army lists can be found in Armies 1 and Army 2 rule books. And then there's another 5 scenarios in the playbook for the skirmish level, and 10 scenarios for the task force level, which would be the next higher level of engagement. And so it just, walks you through, gives you some basics for painting your miniatures. Lots of really nice color photos. Very helpful there. There's the scenario. And there you go. At the skirmish scale, I think it's a 3x3 table, if I'm not mistaken. So, and a fairly fast play time. I think do they have that on the back? I feel like I saw that somewhere. And it said like a 30-minute play time or something like that. So, really nice, you know, like kind of low commitment starter set. You know, you could get these figures painted up pretty quickly, I would think. We're really just dealing with, you know, maybe a half a dozen main units between the two armies. Nice thick cardstock counter sheet here with measurement sticks or rulers, I don't know what to call them. And a nice, you know, a good size rule book. It's not just a sort of, you know, digest size. And again, I'm brand new to this game, so I don't know if this looks like it was produced specifically for the skirmish rules, but you know, this might actually be the whole thing. I'm not entirely sure. So it says you can find scenarios for the game in the playbook, as it said, and then we've got the Armies series. By Fire and Sword provides historical accuracy, dynamic gameplay based on an alternating activation system, original mechanics for issuing orders, 2 levels of gameplay, which allows players to fight both smaller and larger engagements, varied factions. That was something that I really liked about the Kickstarter, is like, there's a bunch of factions. I mean, it's not just Ottomans versus Polish-Lithuanians. I mean, yeah, they've got pretty much any major army you could name from the region and the period. So, I mean, first thing I would do if I find this to be an enjoyable and worthwhile game is I would probably look into expanding what I got here in the starter set. They actually sell starter set expansion boxes, which is really cool, as well as individual units. And I would definitely have to pick up some of those winged hussars. But if I were to start a third army, I would definitely be looking at the like Wallachian or Transylvanian armies, because you know why. Anyway, very flavorful, very, yeah, just very evocative period. So each army comes in its own little box here. Here's the movement trays. And then we have resin cast figures, as well as some metal cast figures. Yeah, I think all the cavalry are resin. And then we have some of these metal castings as well. And I'll be honest, you know, this Kickstarter was fulfilled 2 or 3 years ago, like I say. And I know I did the starter set. I don't actually know if I got any extra stretch goals with it. I'll have to go back and look. But like, I'm looking at these guys here, and they look distinctly European. They're not saying Turkish to me. So yeah, I'll be going through all this in greater detail, but this box has just arrived, so I wanted to bust it out and just kind of go through it. Got like special unit abilities. You know, I love a good, flavorsome historical war game that has special rules for different armies. I know some folks find that to be maybe a little gimmicky or a little unrealistic, whatever that means. But yeah, for myself, I like some good historical flavor to come with my historical war games. So that's the Turkish box. It's all very neat and tidy, you know. Here we have a Polish-Lithuanian. And we get our dice in that one. And just more of the same in terms of different pieces. So I think the cards and everything in that other box obviously were for both sides. Oh no, actually we have some here as well. Oh, and that's really cool. We have some, what would you call it? Transfer sheets, I guess, or just cut out banner sheets, right? That's very cool. Love that. So, you know, I'm pretty excited about this, to be honest. I'm really hoping that I enjoy the game as much as I have anticipated receiving it. And, you know, it's actually a little bit of a challenge for me to not just hop on their website. Their backer kit is closing in a few days, if not a couple of weeks, maybe at the most. If it's still up, I will put a link in the show notes for folks who want to come in as late backers and maybe just grab this starter set or some of the other materials. But, of course, eventually everything will be on their web store, and you can get it then if you're watching this later, or if this backer kit is closed. But yeah, there we go. That is By Fire and Sword, 2nd edition, 2-player starter set, and I am pretty stoked. I don't know when I'll get to painting these guys. I have a couple other projects that I'm working on, as always. Including some 15mm World War II. Like I said, this has inspired me to get back into that scale. And so I might share those at some point in the near future. And we're also working on some return. We're working on a return to doing some actual play or after action reports, whatever you want to call them, for some other projects Kenny and I are cooking up. So do stay tuned. If you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe for more. And yeah, look forward to more as the year moves on. We're already at the mid-year here, folks. All right. Until next time.